Welcome to BankCard Pro CRM account tracking software. In this training session, I'm going to teach you how to set up a telemarketer user account properly, as well as assigning the telemarketer to be able to view and access certain lead status categories. On the login page, you're going to enter the username and password for the telemarketer user that you have set up. So we're going to add the password. Agree to terms of service and log in. And when you're logged in, you're going to notice that you're logged in as Rose Hendricks, the telemarketer user. And when you go to the DBA leads section, you're going to notice that this telemarketer user is unable to view and access leads in any category in the system. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up this user to be able to access certain categories that we want them to access. So what we're going to do is we're going to log out. We're going to log in as a system admin user. Agree to terms of service, log in. And on the gray menu bar, you're going to go to the user section and you're going to choose all users. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on all. Scroll down and you're going to see the telemarketer user we have is Rose Hendricks. Or if you want to, for easier access, you can just look on the left. And basically, when you click on users, you're going to see that we have one telemarketer user. So click on telemarketers and you're going to see Rose Hendricks as the telemarketer user. So we're going to click on the user profile, and what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down to the section where you see select users to set appointments, as well as lead status categories allowed to access view. And another feature that we have is you can enable or disable certain banks or processors that you want this user to be able to access in this software. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll up, and let's say for this telemarketer user, you want this telemarketer to call and set up appointments for specific sales reps within the system. So what you could do is all you have to do is hold down your control key on your keyboard and just click certain users in the system that you want this telemarketer to be able to set up appointments for. What this does is this helps you be able to give them access to only specific users in the system that you want them to be able to use, instead of the software being able to show every single user in the system, which just adds clutter and confusion. You want to just assign maybe 3 sales reps so that they can quickly just choose which user that they're setting an appointment up for the lead, or that they're assigning the lead to, or they're setting up a task reminder. So this just makes the leads and telemarketing system work a lot easier. So for demo purposes, we're just going to add, let's say, that many users and choose whichever ones. And usually in the categories, we're going to go to the lead status categories. Usually categories, telemarketers only are going to use the first 3 or 4 lead status categories, possibly the first 3. And then when the telemarketer sets up an appointment for a lead and then assigns it to one of the sales reps, then what happens is the sales reps are going to log into the software and they're going to be working that lead and using the remaining lead status categories in the system. So some of my clients, it just depends on how they're running a telemarketing call center and how they want to manage and supervise their telemarketers. They only want to give access to their telemarketers to the first 3 lead status categories. So what we're going to do is just choose the first 3, and we're going to have this telemarketer set up appointments for just, let's say, the first 4 sales reps in the system. Next, when the telemarketer or the sales rep actually converts the lead to an online app, what you could do is just choose and hold down the control key and just choose which apps you want this telemarketer to be able to submit online apps into the system. And for demo purposes, we're just going to choose all of them. So we're going to scroll down to the bottom and submit the changes. And when you submit the changes, what we're going to do is go to the telemarketer, Rose Hendricks. We're going to scroll down and you're going to see that the selections have been saved and that the telemarketer can now view the new leads, the new referrals, the working leads status category in the system. And they're able to set leads and appointments and task reminders and assign ownership to leads to these 4 sales reps in the system. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sign out. We're going to log back in as the telemarketer user. agree to terms of service, log in, go to the DBA lead section. Now you're going to be able to see that this telemarketer user is able to work on leads and change the status of different leads to either new leads category, new referrals category, or working leads category. So if we go to new leads, and we're going to see 3 leads, you click on one of the leads, and what this means is for the lead status, this telemarketer can work with telemarketing leads, new leads, and working leads categories and assign them to different status sections in the system. And then lead assigned to, you'll see the selected users that we selected in the user profile. And the telemarketer owner is always going to say the telemarketer that actually worked on this lead. Then what the telemarketer owner can do is be able to call this lead, add notes, and then scroll down and you can add an appointment or add a task reminder and assign it to one of the users that they have been provided as the sales reps are going to set appointments for. That concludes this training session.